Okay, we should be live now. Hi, streamy people. Draco Magnus here for a stream of, a dating sim on Valentine's Day. Ever since the legends of dragons had begun, man has wondered, are dragons intelligent enough to speak? And if they are, more importantly, can we date them? And, what happens after dating, I'm sure you all know. Anyway, Angels with Scaly Wings answers that question. And also, it has a mystery about murder or something, but that's not why we're playing it. Anyway, time to get that started. I did notice there's a bit of a lag issue when I start, the game up. It seems fine in the actual game, it's just, for some reason while capturing it, there's a little bit of lag, and I'm not sure why. I'm thinking it's OBS itself's problem, but it's weird because it's not telling me it's dropping any frames or anything. And it's like a slight lag. You'll see. Actually, this time it's still there, but it's okay, I guess. You are an ambassador. I should probably move this screen so I can see the chat better. Teleported to a strange land. Something's off with this place. Dang. Explore a town full of secrets. Okay, cultists. Definitely cultist. And the people who keep them. Remy, intrigue, black holes, quantum entanglement. Adine, higher self, premonition, solar something, it's cut off. Anna, somatic barrier, something else that's cut off, passion. Bryce, leadership, ego, refracture syndrome. I think it's off because of the size. Oh, and then all these people. Angels with scaly wings. Yeah, I had to resize the window so I could see all my other windows, like chat and whatnot. Okay, and here's the menu. Options. I'm just curious. Well, wait, it's a visual novel. I shouldn't have to do anything with subtitles. Right? Oh, actually. I don't know. I custom resized this. If I hit one of those, that might cause things to get wonky for a bit. Screw it. There we go. Now we're at 1280-720. Let's see how that looks in OBS. Position size. Fit screen. There we go. That looks better. Doesn't look like anything bad's happening with that. I mean, I'll have to have someone in chat actually say something. Oh, hey, Electric! I'm just, going through the options right now, make sure everything is fine. I guess that's okay, because I lowered the native audio. Text speed. Let's do mid. Auto forward time. Skip. Okay. I think that's good for now. Let's get started. Electric, quick question. Does everything seem fine on your end? I can't really say is there any lag because we're not really in a moving scene right now, but let me know if there's if it's too bad or not. I think there's going to be some lag no matter what I do, but hopefully it's not too serious. Let's see, detecting user profile. User profile not found. Please enter my name. Now I think about it, my name is going to be incredibly bizarre in a dating sim with dragons. My first name is Dragons. My first name, Draco Magnus. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Draco Magnus. Okay, just first name, that's fine. Draco it is. Maybe I should just go with my real name. To avoid the awkwardness of being named Draco in a world with dragons. Nah, screw it. Choose a color. Red. Yeah, that looks good. I'm okay with that. User profile confirmed. Before we start, please review the following information. use left click or enter to advance text and select menu options. Press space to advance text only. This is useful to avoid making a selection by mistake. Escape or right click brings up the menu. F toggles full screen. Use the mouse wheel or page up and page down to review past messages and rewind. I don't think I'll be using that. Hold Control or press Tab to skip seen messages. S takes a screenshot. Okay. Middle click or H hides the text window. Why would I? Whatever. If you wish to view this information again, you can do so from the main menu. Got it. That would be all. Okay, good. I need to move my windows for a bit because I can't really access OBS where it is. And that's going to make it difficult when I do need to end. Okay, if I put that there, put this here. Okay, that's better. Now we can move on. The year is 20XX, as it usually is. Only recently has humanity discovered a portal that leads into a different world, populated with a race of intelligent talking dragons. It was one of the few to travel to this world. But maybe I should start at the beginning. It all began when we discovered a strange device in the middle of nowhere during one of our expeditions. A portal. Huh. Neat. I had heard about similar technology before, though that had been more on an experimental level. From what I knew, other portals had been created in the past and were under construction for mass application. As for this one in particular, though, we did not know who had built it, nor when or why we found it in the wilderness where we did. It was more exciting to us was the fact that it was functional. After our first tests, we found that there was someone else on the other side who was in possession of a similar portal, and our attempt at communication through letters were successful. Letters? What, you open the portal and throw a note in? But in the end, the machine's extraordinary demand for power meant that we needed to act quickly, as we wouldn't be able to keep the portal open for much longer. When we made this known to the other side, we received a very unexpected reply. A letter of invitation. After some deliberation, it was decided to accept their hospitality and send a person to the other side. There was an individual who took the job almost immediately. Hey, Digitomadroid. Riza Izquierdo. That is a complex name. I knew him, or rather, had known him. We attended the same school back then, and even had a few classes together. We never really were very close friends, but we talked to each other occasionally and hung out around the same crowd sometimes. However, we still went our separate ways in the end. I wasn't sure what to think about the whole thing, but he had to have known what he was doing. He certainly was brave. Either that, or just very, very foolish. Well, I wasn't sure which. His courage was applauded by others. After all, he couldn't possibly have known who or what would await him in the other end of the portal. And if he did meet someone there, who knew what kinds of intentions they might have? Not that any speculation on our part would have made a difference. When the day finally came through... When the day finally came through, he went, with applause echoing across the area, equipped only with the clothes he wore, his multi-tool, a gun, and a device on his wrist that acted as a PDA. Yeah, I've been training Pokemon Uranium. I got everyone to level 55. I might do an attempt at Curie with the team at that level, or I might decide to train them a little bit longer. Then we waited. The crowd that was applauding him slowly dispersed when the enthusiasm died down, as there was nothing for us to do but wait and speculate. Approximately 8 hours later, we received our first message from him. While we had assumed the portal led to another in a different country, or maybe on a different continent, the reality turned out to be much more foreign. The situation he described to us was so outlandish that we initially took it as a joke. A very bad joke, maybe, with even worse timing and no punchline at all. It soon became clear to us, though, that we may just have made one of the most important discoveries since the dawn of mankind. Finding the portal had been remarkable in itself, but this took it to a completely different level. From what he described about the place, or more accurately, its inhabitants, we surmised it could not be part of Earth at all. We called them dragons. According to Riza, that's what they were, or at least what they resembled most. Riza pronounced like Reza. Oh, okay, Reza. My mistake. Though it's a novel. That's okay. Reza. Even though we found it hard to believe, it had been these dragons who sent us all the letters. And what Reza found on the other side of the portal was a whole civilization of them. They could talk, write books, had buildings and electricity. In many ways, their society was actually very similar to our own. So, who were they? And where was this place? Could they be aliens? Our speculations led us to conclude otherwise. After all, we knew about the existence of thousands of planets, millions of light years away, and that may have been theoretically habitable, yet even then, we had never found conclusive proof in regards to actual alien life forms. Some people brought up quantum mechanics and parallel universes, but in the end, all of this was just conjecture, and ultimately fruitless endeavor. Since we neither had the means nor the resources to explore these possibilities in greater detail. I think there's just one more thing worth mentioning before I move on. The previous isolation had been mutual. They hadn't known about any other intellectual life forms beyond their own. Their portal had only recently been discovered, and was technology previously unknown to them. And just as we had myths about dragons, they had myths about us. That's really interesting and bizarre. So, we have myths about these incredibly powerful flying dragons. They had myths about not all that incredibly powerful, but somewhat strong in their ability to adapt humans? Interesting. I kind of want to hear a human myth now. That was what we knew about them so far. And as interesting as learning those things and debating their cultural significance was, we didn't really know what we should make of it all. Reza apparently wasn't sure of what he was doing, though he eventually let us know that they had agreed on a trade. We were to give them a few of our PDA devices, which contained vast amounts of knowledge, dwarfing even that of encyclopedias. In return, they would supply us with generators. Overall, they didn't seem as technologically advanced as we had been, but they did surpass us in that one aspect. Their means of generating energy seemed sustainable. Not only that, but evidently also quite efficient. We certainly would be able to put technology like that to good use, and trading mere past knowledge of the human race for something more tangible was a good call on his part. That was where I came in. My prior experience in both biological and sociology made me a good fit to deliver our PDA devices for the trade. And while in the Dragon's world waiting for the prototypes of our generators to be manufactured by them, I would act as an ambassador on humanity's behalf. What a way to make a first impression by a display of mutual goodwill. Everyone benefits, and everyone goes home happy. All is well. At least, that was the plan. Despite the images that living, talking dragons might conjure up in some people's minds, I didn't even think about bringing a weapon myself, considering that they were reportedly friendly and peaceful enough. There was no need for me to fear potential ill intentions like Reza did when he had stepped into unknown territory, and acting as a humanities ambassador, I had to do my best to uphold a high standard in fostering this diplomatic relationship. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for him to hold a gun because he didn't know what to expect. If me, an ambassador, comes in with a gun, that shows ill will. When the time came for me to step through the portal, all my mental preparedness vanished. My anxiousness was fueled by all the questions lurking in my head, just as the machine started to do its work. Would it hurt? Who would meet me on the other side? What if they really weren't so friendly and just made Reza write those letters, with the pretense of appearing friendly only to lure us into a den of man-eating monsters and certain doom, with us ending up as nothing more than a tasty afternoon snack? Maybe I should have brought a weapon after all. Suddenly I felt a shiver coursing through my whole body and beyond when I disintegrated, as if every cell, every atom in my body was torn from me and pulled into a different direction. I saw darkness and light, painting patterns in the stars as I traveled, and images rapidly flashed before me of things unseen and unspoken, both horrifying and beautiful. It was an experience unlike any other, yet over in just a split second. Then it was dark. I could only see a patch of a lighter color contrasting with its dark surroundings as my vision started to clear. Its edges got sharper, as patches of light slowly took shape, giving me the distinguished outline of a reptilian head and an array of horns spouting from it. Ooh, man, that's blurry. I can see! It was a dragon! And, as I could now see, a dragon who not only had a pair of round glasses, but also wore a burgundy tie around his neck. Hello, well-dressed dragon, how do? In the name of our people, I bid you welcome. If I may introduce myself, I am Remy, your guide and ambassador, a representative of our council. The dragon spoke! It was one thing to have heard and read about this, but something else entirely to have one standing in front of me in flesh and blood, and tongue. It was good that my mental preparedness had disappeared when I was teleported, because nothing could have prepared me for this. Sorry, I imagine you might still feel the effects of the teleportation. Drowsiness or weakness is not unusual, as is fainting and spontaneous emptying of your bowels, bladder, or stomach. How do you feel? Sorry about the pause there. I really needed to take a sip of water. It was hard to... I was talking for a while there. Scaly? What do you mean? Rendered speechless, I had totally forgotten that I was shouldering the burden of representing my people to them as well. So much for being professional. But at least he gave me a good excuse for my blunder. I think I'm alright. I mean, a little woozy, but, apart from that, doing okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Maybe we should go before it gets too dark. Come with me, please. So I followed the dragon, not straying too far from him as the sun had already departed from the day, and the remaining light diminished by the minute. No, that was just water. No bowel emptying here. It's getting hard to see where I'm going. Sorry about that, but we had a good reason to schedule your arrival like this. We did not want you to be ambushed by a crowd, so we had to keep your exact time and date of arrival secret. I suppose that makes sense. Didn't want fanfare. Thanks. I suppose an event like this would make me a celebrity of sorts. It would be the same if one of you came to us. That's quite an understatement. Some people here are rather superstitious. They might regard you or any of your kind as divine, I suppose. We could be gods! Oh, sorry, ignore that. Scalies are anthro animals that are reptiles. I mean, I suppose, then, yeah, these are scalies, then. These are most certainly not anthro. Oh, actually, yeah, that's true. They don't really have a human appearance to them as far as we've seen. This is clearly a dragon wearing a shirt and tie. I mean, this is pretty far away from anthro. Really? How so? We do have certain myths that involve humans, and as such... Oh, I suppose the history lesson will have to wait for another time. Here we are. By this point, it had gotten so dark that I could barely make out the buildings before us. I briefly wondered whether they might have had streetlights elsewhere, or if they just did not require any due to possible enhanced eyesight or night vision. I could vaguely see the dragon, his light color still visible within the blackness that engulfed the area, rear up and manipulate the door handle with one of his forepaws. Yeah, I suppose that's probably why they selected Remy now that I think about it. He's a white dragon, and pure white isn't that difficult to see, even in darkness. Oh, what a lovely home. Hinges creaking, the door opened, and with the flick of a switch, the apartment was flooded with light, blinding me after all the time we had just spent without it. This is where you'll live for the time being. It's fully stocked, but in case you need anything else, I left you a note with a few numbers. It's getting rather late, so I think I'll take my leave for now. In any case, someone will come and meet you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Remy. Have a good night. Until we meet again. See ya, Remy. With a nod, Remy left the apartment, mindful enough to close the door behind himself. Surveying the room, I considered the events that had just transpired as my gaze met the window. I could see movement outside. As I drew nearer, startled, I could hear footsteps in the grass, moving away quickly. Assuming it must have been the dragon I just met, I thought nothing of it as I went to bed and slowly succumbed to the sweet allure of a sleep overdue. I mean, yeah, God knows how far I've traveled to get to here. In the blink of an eye, I could use some sleep. I spent a few moments thinking about my role, my mission, and what it meant to be here now. I felt the responsibility placed on my shoulders. I was eager for the adventure to come. It's two things. This is a choice. I was eager for the adventure to come. So many possibilities and prospects raced through my mind, truth be told. Period. Truth be told, the thought of being able to meet an entirely new species and civilization excited me, as I was going to be one of the first to truly experience their society with its own little quirks. Differences and similarities, I couldn't help but feel like some sort of modern Picasso da Gama or Marco Polo. Maybe I would even write a book about the whole experience after it's all over. I was sure it would become a hit, all things considered. At any rate, this was going to be fun. Hell yeah, it was. World full of dragons, I am there. Inception, Chapter 1. I like the draconic tarot cards. First day. I awoke from uneasy dreams, looking at an unfamiliar ceiling. Just for a moment, I wondered where I was before the events of last night all came back to me. After a good stretch, I'll do it again. Yeah. I looked around the room, illuminated by the sunlight coming in from the window. Outside in the distance, the portal I had emerged from proudly stood on the peak of a small hill. Getting ready, I noticed something lying on the table. It was the note that Remy had left for me, in case I needed anything, along with his home phone and work number. There were also some numbers for delivery of food and other necessities, as well as emergency and even janitorial services. He had certainly thought of everything, even though I now had to wonder what a dragon plumber might look like. My musings were interrupted when the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, I was met by another dragon. You know, all things considered, it's really good that these dragons are so damn friendly that they gave me an apartment for my time here. They could have very easily have made me like a zoo exhibit. See the amazing human! But instead, we're being treated like equals, and I appreciate that. Anyway. Hello? Sebastian. Hello? You must be Draco. I'm Sebastian, and I'll be your escort. Or security, I suppose. I usually work for the police, though. Nice to meet you. Oh, well, thank you, Sebastian. I appreciate you taking time out of your probably busy schedule being an officer of the law to escort me. He seemed a lot smaller than Remy, but when he was somewhat nervously extended his arm toward me, I noticed he apparently only walked on his hind legs. The two forelimbs instead had distinct arms, hands, and fingers. I'll shake his hand, thanks. I'm not going to be too forward with that. And also, he's a guy. It'd be weird. You know, being heterosexual and all. I'll shake his hand. I'm polite. When I took his hand into mine to shake it gently, I could feel the individual bumps and scales on his rough skin. Nice to meet you too, Sebastian. So where are you taking me? Straight to business, eh? We're going to visit the plant where they're making your generators. They have some news for you, or so I've heard. Reza will be there too. Sounds great. Just follow me. While we walked, I was under the impression we were purposely avoiding the busier parts of town, instead of staying towards the edges and small alleys as to not garner too much attention. Sure, that makes sense. Even then, we got the occasional stare. After just a couple of minutes, we arrived at our destination, where we were met by Reza, as well as yet another dragon, a vicious-looking beast that didn't stay too close to him. I don't think he looks all that vicious. I mean, I think Reza looks more intimidating there. Hey! Reza, long time no see! How true that is. Good to finally see another human face around here. What a coincidence to have you of all people show up. Yeah, I guess those degrees aren't so useless after all. By the way, who's your friend? Just my bodyguard, same as yours. Don't bother with him, he doesn't talk too much. Just like you. Very funny. The two dragons exchanged a few words, and as I met the gaze of a larger Temperous dragon on a few paces from us, Sebastian turned toward me and spoke again. Hey Draco, this is Maverick. Nice to meet you. Yeah, whatever. Just don't expect me to give you any special treatment like everyone else is, and we'll be good. Okay, easy there, edgelord. What are you talking about? So you're saying you haven't noticed the stairs and how they all treat you like you're the next messiah or something? No, no one's treated me like that. I mean, they've kept me pretty far away from the public masses, as it were. I mean, yeah, I've been getting stares, but I thought they just, you know, were interested. No, I just thought... We're not the ones making a big deal out of this, you are! We're just here to get what we agreed on, and then we'll be gone. If anything, I'd actually prefer if you left us alone, but you're the ones who insist on following me around wherever I go. Reza, calm down. Please don't start an incident. A growl escaped the darker dragon's trembling lips as he bared his teeth at Reza. Alright, that's quite enough. Let's all go inside already, shall we? After you. Wow, they're so damn similar. The crisis was quickly averted as we entered the building, which characterized by its many floors, high ceilings, and long narrow hallways as Sebastian led us to our destination. There you are, I was waiting for you. Hello. Wait a minute. I thought we were going to meet the guys from the production. What are you doing here? They're only coming in later today, so you'll just have to make do with me. I see. Well, Draco, this is Anna. She kind of manages this building, though actually she's more involved with the research wing rather than production and engineering. Nice to meet you. My pleasure. I have something for you, by the way. It'll take them a while to make all the generators we promised, but we've got one for you here. Feel free to send it home and give it a test. That's great, I'll take it. Looks a little small if you ask me. Don't underestimate its power. You know what they say, little things, big things, small packages. Oh, and do be careful not to drop it. Oh man, I was gonna throw it down some stairs to test its durability, but if you say not to drop it, I guess I'll keep close touch. Make sure it doesn't fall anywhere. Sure, I'll be waiting outside while you do your thing, Draco. Sure, Reza. I mean, I guess he's been here longer than I have. Maybe he's just sick and tired of seeing dragons. I suppose I'll wait for you outside as well. Well, goodbye, Sebastian. Just me and you, Anna. What thing? What do you mean, what thing? You're an ambassador. Do some passing. You know, make humans look good and all that. Oh, have you brought the PDA? Of course. Here you go. Alright, now to give this thing a test run. The PDA lit up as her hands swiftly move across its interface in calculated motions. By the way, would you consider letting me run some tests on you as well? It would take only a drop of your blood. What? Why? I work in biology, so obviously this kind of thing would be very interesting to us. I'd share the results with you, of course. Sure, I don't see why not. I mean, I myself am also a biologist. We could do, like, you know, a trading thing. I mean, I don't know if I have any equipment in my apartment or not, but yeah, I don't see why not. Great. She was quick to produce a small device from a drawer, which, from a glance, reminded me a lot of a test tube. Now, if you would give me your hand, please. As I reached out to her, she took my hand into hers. Before she pressed the device into the back of my hand, I winced as pain jolted through my hand. Something sharp drove itself through my skin. Shortly afterwards, a droplet of blood was sucked into the tube and attached to a small needle. Thanks. You're welcome? You gave Anna your blood. Achievement unlocked. Blood donation. Looks like your PDA is good. By the way, so we're just about done here. And since we're both in biology, it could be interesting if you want to meet me some other time as well. Here's my number. Alright. See you soon. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. Biology and all that. Of dragons and humans. Exchanging intel and whatnot. Well, that was interesting. Did she ask you for your blood too? Yeah. Did you give it to her? Yeah. Oh, well, it's your choice. We've got no idea what they might do with it, though. I mean, yeah, but... I mean, we're cooperating. Why not give it to them? So they'll study my blood. Maybe they're being nice as just a cover, but I feel like if that were the case, they would have taken us over by now? I'm getting hungry. How about some breakfast? I'm all for it. I can't stand early mornings like this. Oh, maybe Reese is just not a morning person. And, you know, he hasn't had his breakfast yet. He's grumpy. That would explain things. That shouldn't be a problem. There's a cafe not far from here. What do you say, Mavers? Okay, I love that name. Mavers. What do you say, Mavers? I wouldn't mind to grab a bite myself. That settles it then. Lucky for us, the cafe was mostly empty when we arrived, as it was still pretty early in the day. Reza was quick to lead me to a table for two, prompting the dragons to get one of their own at the other side of the restaurant. Okay. Look, Nubbud. Only information for now. Maybe it'll develop into something later. This is totally professional right now. Just two biologists talking about biology. That's all I'm saying. Ugh, finally, I can't stand that guy being on my tail all the damn time. You know, again, I would scold Reza, but I feel like he's sort of justified in this. He's been in here longer than I have. Maybe it's gotten on his nerves. I could see that. I mean, I just got here. I wouldn't have that introspection yet. Let's see. They say it's for own security. It does seem rather strange that they need someone following us everywhere. Maybe he just likes you a lot. They say it's for our own security. I'll say that one. That seems like the best option, really. Because I don't think it's that strange, all things considered. We're new to their world. They don't want everyone, like, frenzying around us. And I don't think he likes him. He's made it very clear, Mavers, that he does not like us. Very much aware that is what they're saying. We were approached by an individual who appeared to be the waitress of the cafe. She was an interesting-looking dragon who, unlike the others I had seen so far, was more akin to a wyvern, possessing two rather large wings as her forelimbs, which resembled those of an oversized bat. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why the message was retracted, that next one. Can I guess I can't take a look at that at this point. What if I... Oh, I can just do that whenever. All messages are visible, or messages as potential spam. Maybe. I'll just go back to regular live chat. I don't want to miss any messages. And I can decide whether or not to get rid of them or not. Oh, it's the humans! You're able to correctly identify our species based on what we look like? Congratulations! Well, that's rude! Wait, where? Oh, it's a dragon! I mean, these two are rude. This one is funny. I'm gonna go with the funny. Wait, where? What, Reza? Don't joke. That's a good one. Welcome to our establishment. My name is Adine, and I will be your waitress today. What can I bring you to? You know what, I'll go scrambled eggs with bacon. Yeah, me too. Just make it quick. Sure thing, 2 scrambled eggs with bacon coming right up. Wonder if they have chickens in this universe. I mean, they must if they're selling scrambled eggs. Probably not scrambling their own eggs. That would be disturbing. As I was saying, if you look at the big picture, don't you think there's just something off about this whole place? Where is it, really? I mean, I don't think it's strange. Let's assume we're in either another dimension or we've stargated ourselves to a really faraway planet. Evolution basically works the same no matter where you go. So, odds are, these dragons just evolved from proto-lizards, let's say. Their planet wasn't hit with a meteor like, you know, our planet Earth was, that killed out all the dinosaurs and let mammals thrive. So they eventually evolved into these draconoid states. Their civilization developed parallel to ours and relatively the right pace, meaning that most civilizations just generally evolve at a relatively similar pace. So, nothing seems out of the ordinary here. I find it slightly bizarre that they were accepting us with open arms, but maybe they're just really friendly. I'd like to save my judgments until I see something that really makes me think, okay, something's up here. If this is supposed to be a completely separate place from Earth, or even a different dimension, some things just don't add up. Don't you think so, too? I'm not sure. Let me just grab a tinfoil hat really quick. Nah, that's rude to him. I'm gonna say I'm not sure. Can't really say much more with you-know-who over there. He's probably listening to us right now. Yeah, he's a charming fellow. I let my gaze wander. I saw that Maverick was looking in my direction. Our eyes met briefly, his expression not showing any discernible emotion, while I wondered whether it had just been a coincidence, or if he really was able to hear us from the distance. I mean, dragons might have better hearing. I don't know enough about their anatomy yet in this universe. I do have some theories. And if I'm right, we might be in trouble. Why are you saying that with a smile? That's just, like... Are you okay, Riza? Do you not know what emotions to convey when you're saying something dramatic? What kind of trouble? What are you talking about? Shh, quiet. I'll let you know more as soon as I can. But for now, let's just play along. After all, we've already have one of these babies. He patted the generator box for emphasis. God knows we need them. Oh, there she comes! The female returned, astounding me with her ability to balance the dishes on the edges of her wings. She placed her forelimbs on the table and proceeded to move the dishes from her wings to us with a gentle push of her snout. Here you go, enjoy! Thanks. You're welcome. I was wondering what kind of breakfast could be had in a place like this, but I was pleasantly surprised to find it quite as I was used to. The only difference was that they apparently didn't use cutlery. I mean, I guess that makes some sort of sense. I mean, humans have thumbs, which allows us to use tools and utensils. But some dragons do have forelimbs, others don't. Like in Adine's case there. So, the only thing that makes the most sense is that you would have to eat, by putting your face in the dish. When the waitress brought back our meals to the two dragons across the cafe and exchanged a few words with them, Riza leaned forward and whispered something to me. I'll send you a letter with a coded message later. You'll know what to do. I will? Okay. Reza rose from his seat before he made it known to me that he still had a few things to do and left the restaurant, followed after by the larger of the two dragons. Wow, I am fumbling a lot. Well, bye, Reza. Laters. I wasn't in a hurry, so I spent a few more minutes in contemplation while I looked out the window and finished my breakfast. Not that this whole situation was already bizarre enough. There was also now the vague sense of danger conveyed by Reza's earlier words. I did not even have an idea what kind of threat might be lurking out there, aside from the fact, dragons. But they're friendly, so, I guess I let that slide. Eventually I got up, ready to be on my way for whatever else the day might bring. Are you done? Sure am. How'd you like it? It was alright. Glad you enjoyed it. Just wait outside and I'll handle the rest here. Oh yeah, I don't really have a wallet or money at this point, do I? I wonder what the currency here is like. Is it the same as paper money, or do they use gold coins? Or is there some other form of currency? I'm interested to learn more about their society. Sure thing. I stepped outside, taking in the scenery of this strangely familiar world. In the short time I was here, I had already found the similarities between their world and our world utterly fascinating. After all, we were talking about an unmapped place with a never-before-seen form of life. As far as discoveries were concerned, even something as simple as a new unicellular organism or even bacteria would have been remarkable. Yet here I was, standing in the middle of a village evidently built by this race of intelligent talking dragons with a society not unlike our own. Reza didn't seem to share the same interest, and instead was more smitten with the generator, but given our reasons for coming here in the first place, I couldn't blame him for his enthusiasm being focused on something else. Yeah, that's true. My thoughts were interrupted as something suddenly zipped past me, just a little too close, causing me to stumble back. It was a rather small dragon with a bag clamped in his maw, who apparently had somewhere to be. I regained my footing and watched as it disappeared into the distance. Even though I'd seen enough dragons to recognize the variations in size, color, and other attributes, I guess this one must have been a juvenile of its species. Shortly afterwards, Sebastian joined me outside, having taken care of the tab. You know, now that I think about it, too, I'd imagine just, children seeing a human in this world would be, awestruck and asking billions of questions like I would if I was a child and suddenly a dragon walks down the street. I gave her a generous tip on your behalf. I hope you don't mind. Of course not, as long as I don't have to pay the bill. Actually... well... that sucks. Saying the stream is complete, I'm going to... take a look. Yeah. Wow, we're in the red? What the heck is that? Okay, I think we're live again? Okay. Everything seems fine. I mean, like I said, we're in red right now, and that's not great, but, okay. I'll almost type that. Now? Nope, we're back to red. So how's this going? I might as well get some water while I wait, because I don't know if it's going through yet. Damn it, it was okay for like a split second. Alright, stream health on YouTube says it's fine. Are we good? Can I be heard? Okay, we seem to be okay. Stream health's in the green according to YouTube. Time is ellipsing. I mean, it's buffering on my end, but that's fine, I guess. It's still red in the actual program. Huh. I don't think I have any programs open. I mean, outside of YouTube, but that's just to make sure the stream is still going. Yeah, it seems fine. I mean, I suppose I could close YouTube and just, trust you guys to let me know when it's crashing or whatever. But I feel like I should keep the dashboard open, And I haven't really had this kind of problem in a while. You know what? I'll ask in chat. Man, I wonder what the issue is with this game in particular. I mean, unless I have some sort of background program running that I don't know what it is that's causing the issue, but I don't think that would be a problem. I suppose I could also use, I'm going to use Task Manager to see where the issue is with this. What's causing the biggest problem here? OBS itself. Shit. Okay, my CPU's going down at least. Maybe I should get the new version of OBS. I mean, it's been a while. Oh! Yeah, I'm still stuck in buffering on my end, too. That's bizarre.